Hi guys, my name is Mohammed and welcome to ScentFolio. Thank you for tuning in. Today we have three bangers that we're talking about from the house of Fragrance World. And these bottles, I would say, yes, these bottles are pretty much, the talk of the town, pretty hip numbers here, especially known for their animalic faces or, all their heads sticking out to these bottles. Yep, looks pretty cool though. Yeah, probably the new thing in that Fragrance World is trying out. And to be fair, they are pretty decent house, I would say, taking inspirations from the world, but doing it in their own way and known for adding twists and turns, and their juice quality and their longevity and all that good stuff. Overall presentation is just pretty cool as compared to the other Paris owner, Irma Afnan's Latafas or Al Zafrans and all that good stuff that we have. So let's deep dive into these three that we're comparing today. Not comparing, but actually talking about them, because each one is duping something different and having their own game. So let's get into the details of this video. First off, we have Apex from Fragrance World with... Now, is this a bear or a lion? What can you tell? I would say it's a lion because the box is pretty cool, pretty lion shaped in terms of the head quality here. And this just pops out this way. And a bit of details here in the back. Nice matte finish, black colored box. Not much of the details here, but pretty cool. Overall, this is one of my favorite scents because it is dark, deep, dense. So let's get that out of the way. By the way, this is a dupe of PENHALEGONS Blazing Mr. Sam. This is warm, spicy. This is tobacco, a beautiful combination of tobacco and vanilla with some added powdery notes over here. It's a powder burst, but controlled. Not a baby powder kind of thing. This is more like a mature, dense, dark powder that we're talking about. And we'll get into the notes as what, blends in what. But overall, the main accord and the scent profile, I would say, is powdery, dark, dense, deep, tobacco-ish for sure. And then we've got, it is aromatic. Beautiful way. It's exclusive for mature audience. As I said, beautiful warm spices. It's a bouquet of spices here. Let's put it this way. There are tons of them. That puts this into a category of early spring, fall, winter, definitely winter kind of a fragrance here. So that was the main, kind of like accords of this guy. Let's get into the details, how it pops, when what's going on in the mids and the dry down, and further details of the notes here. So on top it says cardamom, cinnamon, that pops out, and then in the mids we've got black pepper, saffron, cumin. In the base we have tobacco, vanilla, cedar, and patchouli. These notes are nice blend of dark notes with a bit of a sweetness here at the same time. Everything is, as I said, is balanced. Sweetness here is right in the middle. It's not overly sweet or cloying at all. And it's not unsweetened or sour that, it's just promoting the darkest side. No, the sweetness here is pretty balanced. Up on top, what I get actually, what my nose picks up is a beautiful bouquet of powderiness, some dark and dense powderiness. If black powder makes sense to you, then I would say yes, it's that kind of a zone, or the pop it's more focusing on. And the reason why I'm saying black powder is what I get is a burst of black pepper mixed with powder, so that makes it black or ashy kind of a powder. Ashy would be the right word, to be honest, because here with the tobacco, it's more like a cigar-y tobacco and an ashy tobacco. So how it smells like in an ashtray, pretty much that kind of thing. But since we're talking about pop, Good amount of powder with some black pepper. So that's there for sure. Added touch of cardamoms. Now here comes the sweetness. And a beautiful touch of cinnamon. So that zesty, zingy side of cinnamon with some beautiful sweetness from cardamom. It's not a cardamom heavy scent, or it's not one of those, you know, standard cardamom beauties that we have there for, you know, as we, well, I would say 10 to 20 to 30% of, yes, if you want to link that to Lanvin de L'Homme, you can, that's fine, because it has a sweet cardamom. So, but obviously it's just that much of Lanvin de L'Homme, like maximum 20%, and let's get out of the way everything else, because everything else is now taking turns with some density here. You do also get saffron. So that saffron, that black pepper, is in the opening as well. That makes it, yes, exactly, you know where this is going. That makes it date night romantic kind of a scent. This is again, mature scent which is leaning on a romantic side at the same time. So you will get that saffron, pretty balanced, as I said. Nice sweetness coming out from saffron. Nice balancing note coming up from cumin. Cumin pops a little more in the mids, but saffron, black pepper, cardamom, cinnamon, good bouquet of burst spices with some florals, with some powderiness, and density comes in right on your face in the pop. Beautiful pop. Tobacco kicks in earlier than later, so it's not a dry down or a base note. It kicks in with the cumin in the mids. And yes, vanilla is something that complements the tobacco in the later run, which is in the dry down. Up until the couple of hours, you won't get that much of a vanilla, more of a saffron than vanilla, to be honest. But beautiful, that's even better, right? So, because I mean, sometimes you don't need vanilla in the stretch of 7-8 hours all the time, but it gives you an opportunity to enjoy the spices, the dark side of tobacco, and saffron, and then the vanilla. And then the base is mainly some woods and chili, to be honest. Tobacco is pretty much in the pop up until the end. Tobacco enhances itself when it blends with vanilla in the base, and then obviously when vetiver kicks in, when tobacco is about to die, the vetiver kicks in, and that earthiness of vetiver, that rawness of vetiver, is with the woods, makes it a beautiful blend. Cedar is something that pops up in the end and join hands with the with vetiver and say bye-bye to tobacco, because I think tobacco, since it's there from the pop, it's done its job. And this is not a tobacco heavy or tobacco-ish category of a fragrance. It's not. I would say this is more of a warm, spicy, powdery floral scent or saffron based scent, which does have pretty much all the dark and dense notes, yeah, it's not like a tobacco heavy kind of a scent. It has good amount of tobacco, don't get me wrong, but we're not categorizing this as a tobacco scent. It's spicy, warm, spicy, and powdery. Powdery is the king here. It is a powdery category of a scent, so let's place this in the powdery category. But if you're not into powdery notes, I think you're missing out on life, to be honest. I was not into powdery notes by the time I got mature. By the time I started enjoying powdery scents, then I kind of came to know that why powdery scents are in the game, in the leading game of perfumery, and what am I missing out? And now I'm blessed to pick up these things, and I guess you go mature with time. It's not something that comes to you, like everything doesn't come to you at one time, at one point point of time, or at one age. So I think you grow, with the nuances you get, and then your friendship, your circle, enhances that way. Anyway, longevity wise, this is this did not really impress me in terms of longevity, and as much as I wanted it to stay and do its magic, the kind of a beautiful scent this is absolutely gorgeous. As I said, exclusive. You need to have a occasion to wear this and have this acknowledged and recognized. You need to have nice, mature audience with that taste to appreciate what you're wearing. So yeah, you need to have a plan for the night. This is a night wear, I would say, because it pops out more with all those, it's gonna shine in the night as compared to the day. But overall, you can carry this, but I got max of 6 to 7 hours of. Now here's the thing. To me, it was gone up until 6th hour, but people around me could pick up, and even I could pick up here and there some nuances, especially the vanilla, and the powderiness starts to get toned down after 3rd or 4th hour, to be honest. So I guess I was looking for that powderiness, let's be honest, and maybe I was not focusing on the other, because powderiness is beautiful here. Let's put it this way. So maybe I was just looking for that thing. Projection is good up until 3 hours. It will shine, and it's an attractive machine. You're gonna enjoy the most. Amazing and a great buy. One of my favorites in this line. Let's jump on to the next one. Next up, what we have is Imperial, again from Fragrance World. This is a cologne of Imperial Valley by GISSAH. This is a fresher take on the dense profile. So this is not a freshie as in completely. This is not aquatic, but yes, this is aromatic. More freshness here, but yet on the dark and the dense side of perfumery. So it's a beautiful blend. It's not a loud fragrance. It's not a like in the air, everywhere kind of scent. This is again more cozy, a bit freshy, but surrounded by warm spices. We do have that aromatic nature, but then we do have animalic tones to kind of like balance things off and keep things grounded. So we do have green side of the scent, which is more fresh, herbal, and a bit earthy, but at the same time we do have some kind of a freshness here that kind of like pulls it from the green to the blue, but pretty much borderline. This is again woody, but yet aromatic, and then it is a bit of leathery. It has a bit of oud at the same time, but a beautiful ambery musk, I would say. A beautiful musk with some amber tones over here as well. So it is a beautiful house, a well-balanced house of, touching up of, different nuances here, which I think is pretty enjoyable. So you will definitely rock this. It is one of my favorites here, to be honest. Just if I totally forgot about this moose or deer or whatever you want to call this 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this I'm just counting the the deer's the horns, but no, good stuff here. Overall, as I said, pretty balanced. Overall, as I said, pretty mesmerizing in terms of their look and feel, but the juice quality over here is again worth mentioning, which I am really a fan of. To be honest, it does look fancy, but I don't really care in the end of the day. overall quality is okay of the bottles. You know, nothing, you know, out of the world, or, you know, pretty standard cap. It's just a hefty black, or, you know, kind of like a dark glass shaded bottle here. But overall, I mean, I love what GISSAH does anyway, and the way they have done is, I think they've done a fantastic job in terms of inspiring the same kind of almost the same kind of you know, the scent profile, caramelly, with some dark, you know, oudhy vibes. It's just beautiful. To top that, to balance that off, we do have an uplifting note over here, which is of rosemary. It is a beautiful transitional scent. You do pick up on the rosemary exactly. I would say like 45 minutes to an hour. Yeah, base notes, it's a, you know, the musk kicks in, the leather kicks in, and the last thing that we have is vetiver. But this is not a green vetiver, this is Haitian vetiver, which is more of a dry vetiver. So apparently this is combining with the musk and the leather. The leather here is not too loud. It is not a leathery scent. It is not even an oudhy scent. This, I would place this in a category of more of it's a beautiful amber musk, to be honest, with a touch of some bright citruses. Overall, 7 to 8 hours of a longevity, which is fairly, you know, decent. I love it, to be honest. I would rate this as 8.5 on 10. So let's jump on to the next one. Last but not least, we have Alpha in the house, from the house of Fragrance World. This is, again, deep, dark, dense scent. A beautiful inspiration from EBENE FUME from Tom Ford. This is, again, for the bold ones. This is, again, for the loud ones. This is, again, for the challenging ones. EBENE FUME is itself a fragrance which attracts, you know, these categories of audience. So you got to be prepared. This is mature stuff that we're talking about. This is, again, not pretty, I would say 25 to 30 plus. And all these fragrances are pretty unisex because, you know, I mean, dark sides, I mean, there are females, there are women that want to wear the dark scents. All these three are the best of the dark houses, to be honest. In this one, in Alpha, it's a beautiful woodiness. It's a woody, leathery, I would say smoky kind of a scent profile here that we're dealing here. It is balsamic, it is incensey, it is leathery, it is smoky. It does have beautiful amount of amber, but a dark side of amber, I would say. It's not one of those bright ambery scents we have. And in the end of the day, I would again rate this, or, you know, place this into an aromatic scent. It is an aromatic scent which you can definitely carry it. I would say this is a night wear, I would say, rather than the day wear. But yeah, because of its dark and dense qualities, I would again say this is an early spring, absolutely fall winter banger. This is, sweetness here is pretty balanced, nothing's overkilling because of the dark dense notes that we have. Up atop, we do have that incensey pop here with some black pepper and violet leaf. We do have another note of Palo Santo, which I don't know, but all I get and all I care and all I enjoy is that incensey black pepper blend. I don't really get a violet stuff here, any kind of a violet leafy stuff here. But yeah, even if it is, I would say it wouldn't be like violet. I think it's more of like a green side of the violet, more earthy violet leafy vibe that there is a leafy vibe, by the way, and probably it's the violet, but not the seductive or the sexy or purple violet, you know, kind of vibe here. This is more like an earthy green violet. Leather is something that is, you know, in the pop with the incense and black pepper, but not that high. It's gonna get high in the mid-tones. We do have labdanum, we do have cade oil, we've got papyrus, and then we've got a touch of rose. You will get this in the mids. You will get leather combining with rose, leather combining with labdanum, and I'm not sure what papyrus is, to be honest. And cade oil, again, I'm not sure, but since it's an oil, I am suspecting it to be more of like an earthy, you know, kind of like a more of a yeah, more of like an earthy side, like an oily side. The oil itself is a nuance, and it has that bit of an inky vibes. But in the base notes, we've got ebony tree. That's the woodiness is coming from. We've got some resins, and then we've got gaiac wood. So I think it's a beautiful combination. In the end, it becomes pretty dark in the end, and the dry down is just amazing of this, to be honest. This is very smooth, even more smoother than the Ebony Fume from Fragrance World. That, surprisingly, I'm not sure why Fragrance World is just competing with their own brand lines, but I guess it's a more... Ebony Fume was a pretty dope inspiration clone of Ebene Fume, but for some reason they have able to make it more dark and more dense and more smooth, I would say. Yeah, a beautiful scent to enjoy. Again, a mature take, but very smooth, and the overall longevity is, I would say, yes, it is a beast mode fragrance. This one, Alpha, is definitely a beast mode fragrance. I would say 8 to 10 hours easily. I would say it does, goes on to the next day, which you can, again, you can sniff from your clothes and stuff like that, but it's a good projector for up until 3 to 4 hours, I would say. Good sillage, and then longevity is no issues at all. So I literally adore these three in line, to be honest. They're worth getting it. So it's not like, one is a better choice to the other. I've got all three from Frag Bar, and if you want to order them, feel free. And yeah, and make sure you guys subscribe, because it's free for you, but really helps for the channel to grow and for me to invest and come and talk about smelling good, the ways of smelling good, in a way that you want to make your decision before you spend those bucks out. Take care, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.